Yo, what's up, guys? I'm Matthew.
And I'm Neicey, and welcome to the Real Conversations podcast, where we talk about everyday topics in a real and authentic way. Ew. That's all I got. I'm sorry. My noise effects are mad ghetto.
Anyway, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good.
Yeah. Happy Mother's Day to all the moms out there in the world. Shout out to our moms. You're awesome. And everybody else's mom. If you're a mom, keep on momming, you know?
Happy future Mother's Day to you.
Oh, babe.
We're not pregnant yet. Don't get no ideas.
Right.
Just saying for in the future, you're going to be my future baby mama.
Ooh. Can't wait.
Make it sound like that.
Well, whatever. All right. I can't even take it back. It is what it is. But, yes. Happy Mother's Day to all the moms out there. You guys are great. Keep up the good work. Yep. So, oh boy. Yeah.
This week went by very fast.
It did. And I'm kind of glad. Because, like, every time the week starts, I'm like, I cannot wait until it ends. Like, that's kind of where I'm at right now.
No, because then you only got 2 days before it starts again.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't know what happened this week. It was Monday, and then it was Thursday.
Yeah.
I don't know. One of those days last week went by super slow. Like, I was just like, is it time to go yet? It was 12.
Dang. Well, I mean, almost for you, though, because you get off work at like 2:30 now.
Ugh.
So it was.
It still felt like it was like 4 hours until I had to leave. It was bad.
It'd be like that sometimes. But, well, I hope you guys had a great week. And, I hope you guys are having a great day whenever you're listening to this. So today, we wanted to talk to you guys. I don't like this topic. Anyway, we want to talk to you guys today. You'll hear why. We want to talk to you guys today about fear.
Dun, dun, dun.
I wouldn't have chose that.
Whatever.
I was thinking more, ooh,
Like you said, your sound effects are more ghetto. So
that is so true.
Continue.
Yeah, we want to talk to you guys today about fear. It definitely stood out a lot for me this week, just because I am embarking upon a new journey, career-wise. And so with that comes some knowns, some unknowns.
Some known
Some
unknowns.
Right, some known unknowns, some unknown unknowns, right? So, but I know that God has spoken to both me and Matthew, and I feel like what he has spoken is about to come to pass, and that makes me really nervous and slightly fearful.
But excited.
Yeah. I wish I had that outlook. I'm the person that's like, when you're about to do something like for the first time, and some people are like, I'm so nervous, but I'm excited because this is something new and it's going to be great. And then you have those other people that are like, oh, what all could go wrong in the world? I am the latter, not the former.
Lord.
So, yeah. I mean, so when you have like came across something that was a little scary, you just like, what is your outlook on things?
I actually just try not to think about it too much. If I know it's something I'm supposed to do, why would I sit and make myself scared to do it? I'm just going to do it.
Yeah. Needs like the psyching yourself out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I do that a lot.
And you're a classic overthinker.
Shout out to all my overthinkers out there. We in this together. We ain't by ourselves.
No, sometimes you just overthink things.
Yeah, I do a lot.
It's okay. Just let it go. Just do it. Like Nike.
I was about to sing Frozen, so I'm glad you moved on real quick. I was about to hit them notes. Okay.
They don't need to hear that.
But one of the things too, so to start out this conversation, I looked up on the dictionary some definitions of fear. And so some definitions of fear, one says an unpleasant emotion caused by the belief that someone or something is dangerous, likely to cause pain, or a threat. And another one says a feeling of anxiety concerning the outcome of something or the safety and well-being of someone. So I think to me the first one really stood out. Like, it says like an unpleasant emotion caused by the belief that something is dangerous or like a threat. I don't know. I think when you're coming up on things that are unknown, a lot of the times, like, that fear may come from what if it's a threat? What if, I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's one thing. I think humans are naturally just fearful of uncertainty.
I was going to say, I believe that humans are naturally selfish. So the first thing you think about is this going to hurt me? Or how is this going to affect me?
Yeah. I think also too, we tend to be fearful of things that are uncomfortable.
Mm-hmm. That are uncomfortable or that we just are uncertain of.
Yeah. And it's like, because when we're comfortable, it's just, I don't know, it's comfortable, right? It's comfortable being comfortable. You have a sense of familiarity. But when you're embarking upon something that is unfamiliar and you don't have that, that sense of familiarity, then it is like you start to get nervous and anxious,
mm-hmm.
I think.
Yeah.
So, and I mean, so with that too, I want to ask you, Matthew, a question. So kind of what's going on in your life? What are some things that you're fearful about?
I try not to be fearful about how we're going to, our future basically.
Yeah.
How we're going to do this and how we're going to pay that and what I have to do this. Basically anything that involves me having to be responsible. I'm just like, oh Lord, I gotta call somebody.
It really is sad. The fact that I'd be like, oh babe, call the dentist to schedule an appointment. The sheer anxiety that I feel radiating off of his body is just disrespectful.
Listen, doing adult things gives me anxiety.
It's ridiculous, guys.
I feel like everybody has certain anxiety about things, and being an adult is just one of those things that I have anxiety about.
Making a phone call to schedule an appointment, though,
is not something that I regularly do. I'm uncomfortable with it, so I'm fearful of it. Not fearful, it's just very uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Yeah, I that's the reason that I still haven't made a doctor's appointment.
Yeah, we gotta work on that. Yeah, we're gonna talk about that later. So I mean, I don't know, I think keeping the definition in mind, anxiety concerning the outcome of something, I think that's like true to
you,
to me.
Yeah.
You ain't have to bust me out like that.
No, you bust me out.
You right. Yeah, it's true to me right now. And I feel like it's not even just so right now, it is regarding, my career journey. But I think in everything, like every big decision I've ever made is just anxiety regarding the outcome.
Yeah. I mean, I can think back and remember too, with signing the lease on the first apartment, getting the car,
Yep.
signing the lease on the second apartment,
Yep.
All of those. You sitting there twitching in the chair, sitting there hyperventilating. It's like, I don't know, is this the right thing to do? What if it affects us negatively?
Yeah.
It's like, bro, chill out.
I just wish, I don't know, I wish I could see into the future. Like, I don't know.
You can see into
I was thinking it. It's just, when you're coming across something that you don't know how it's going to play out. Is for me, I get anxious. And I think more so because whatever decision I want to make, I don't want it to not please God. And so that's why it's like, okay, I'm anxious because I'm like, did I do this right? Am I making the right choice? God, I think this is what you said and I'm gonna go with that, but what if it's wrong? What if I fall outside the will of God? And all of those things.
I feel like that goes back to what that preacher was talking about like a few Sundays ago when he was talking about hell. And how you're just so afraid of going to hell that you try to do everything God says, which I mean you should do anyway. But you shouldn't be in fear of God casting you straight to hell every time you don't do something exactly like he says. Because somebody said something about you can't rob God, but what you're doing is robbing yourself.
Right.
Because you're stopping God from being able to bless you.
Yeah.
So it's not like God's going to send you to hell for not doing what he said to do, but you're just blocking your own blessings or postponing your own blessing.
Right.
I mean, there are plenty of scriptures about fear in general too.
Yeah. That is true. Yeah. I mean, I think in one of the scriptures actually is 2 Timothy 1:7, and it says that God did not give us a spirit of fear and timidity, but of power, love, and self-discipline. And so I think that's one thing too. It's like before I just used to be fearful and like I would just let the anxiety completely take over throughout the entire process. But like now it's like I recognize, okay, I'm fearful and I know this is not of God. And so really that scripture just keeps playing in my mind over and over again. That and also like the story of the children of Israel, that plays in my mind too. And for those of you who don't know, essentially, Moses obeyed God and freed the children of Israel from slavery in Egypt. And so after that, they crossed the Red Sea and were on their way to the land that God promised them. And essentially, they screwed themselves out of it because people went to go and visit the land, to kind of tour it, see what it's like, and came back and were like, oh no, we cannot defeat the people in there. We can't do this. And they instilled fear in all of the children. And so God was like, oh, for real? Bet. Y'all gonna die out here.
They even had the audacity to be like, we was better off in Egypt. We was in slavery.
For real. They was like, let me go back to slavery. Let's go back to Egypt because there's no way we can walk into God's purpose that he prepared for us. Like, what? Oh, man. So yeah, those two things that scripture and that Bible story pops in my head every single time. And I'm just like, okay, I know this is fear. And I listened to a sermon earlier this week that talked about emotions and managing your emotions and how your emotions really are just data. But just because like you feel a certain type of way doesn't mean you have to act on it.
I was just about to say that.
So it's like, I recognize that I'm fearful. And instead of just laying in that, I think about the scriptures and I pray about it and I just take deep breaths and calm down.
Yeah, it's like acknowledge like any feeling that doesn't have to just be with fear.
Yeah.
Just acknowledge how you feel, but realize that you don't have to act or react based off of that feeling. You can acknowledge it and then think about what's the best thing to do in the moment and then react or act based off of that instead of off of how you feel.
Yeah.
I
And
know it's easier said than done.
well, yeah. And I mean, the thing is, though, like, listen to that sermon. That was the first time that I actually thought about emotions that way. I thought, if I'm sad, I gotta feel sad.
Yeah.
If I'm angry, I gotta feel angry. Like, I gotta express this. I gotta get this out. This is how my body feels. This is the way I need to be. And so, it's crazy. Now it's like, oh, I actually don't have to do that.
Yeah. I mean, like you said, you never think about your emotions that way. So how you feel in the moment is how you feel you need to react.
Right.
Maybe that's what mature and sane people do, is they recognize that they have feelings and then they just don't act on them. They do the best thing anyway and just don't let their feelings affect their decisions. I'm not there yet.
That's why I was like,
Good for y'all.
Right. We gonna get there.
We gonna get there.
We are going to get there.
Eventually.
One step at a time. But yeah, no, I mean, I think for me, just recognizing, like I said, recognizing that fear, recognizing that it's not of God. And then that's when it's like, okay. Because I think a lot of the time, something else too, is that when we feel a certain type of way, that, we don't stop to kind of put it in check.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, okay, I'm embarking upon this opportunity or this moment. I feel this way. Why? And then from there, it's like, okay, I know God did not give us a spirit of fear. So what I'm feeling right now is something that is not of God. So let me pause and correct this, not dwell in it, and then keep going.
Yeah, that reminds me of something that I said a few episodes ago. I don't remember exactly what episode it was, but basically I was saying that if I was talking about anger, I think, like when sometimes you get angry about things, but you don't know why.
Yeah.
And you just know that this thing makes you angry. Sometimes you have to stop and you have to think, why does this thing make me angry, and why do I give it so much power?
Yeah.
And just figure out why it makes you angry. And then you realize that's kind of a silly reason, and you don't have to get angry about that. You can do that with all of your other emotions. You're like, why am I scared of this? Why does this fear have so much power over me just for this one thing?
Yeah.
And then I think that is a good way to look at your emotions and why you feel that way about whatever the situation is, and then just have a better grasp on it. And who knows, maybe you'll feel differently about it just because you sat and thought about it.
Yeah.
Because we don't think about why we feel the way we feel.
We just know that we feel it.
Yeah, we just know that certain things make us feel a certain way.
Yeah. No, I 100% agree with that. So, I mean, for me, this week, my biggest takeaway was stopping and recognizing how I'm feeling and asking myself why. And I mean, specifically too, so like, for example, there would be a portion of my new career role that I don't enjoy doing. And so I would be nervous and anxious about it. And so what I would do is I'd stop and just be like, okay, I'm feeling anxious. I'm feeling nervous. I'm feeling fearful about doing this. This is not of God. I know God did not give me the spirit of fear. So then it's like, take a deep breath, realize that it's a part of the job, right? And then do it anyway.
Yeah. For me, like I said, this week went by so fast. Like, these weeks have been going by fast. Like, ever since we moved into the house, time has been going by like crazy fast.
Yeah.
It's kind of scary. Like, I already feel old, but I'm gonna start feeling real old soon. But this week, if I had to pick anything that stood out, it's that in the times when you don't feel like, like when you really don't feel like doing something.
Yeah.
Like when you know you are supposed to, or that you have to do something and you just really don't feel like doing it. Ask yourself why. And I didn't at the time. I just knew I really didn't want to do it, but I forced myself to do it anyway. Mm-hmm. And then like I'm really starting to reinforce in my mind that I'm never going to want to do something as soon as we're about to start or as soon as you start to do it. But once you start doing it and once you get into it, it's not as bad as you had thought that it was in your mind. Like you said, you psych yourself out of it.
Yeah.
You just overthink it, and then you just make yourself not want to do it.
Right.
But you just have to go ahead and start doing it anyway, knowing that it won't be as bad as you think it's going to be.
Yeah. And one thing too, I think that fear and procrastination go hand in hand, because like if you're about to do something and you're afraid, then you'll procrastinate. Mm-hmm. Like, oh, I can't do it because of this, or I'll do it tomorrow, or I'll, whatever. We have that sense of comfort in procrastination because we're remaining in whatever situation that we want to be in instead of doing what we feel like we need to do.
Yeah, and just keep pushing it back. Just keep pushing it because you're never going to want to do it.
Right.
And you think maybe I'll have more courage to force myself to do it tomorrow. Mm-hmm. You won't.
Right.
Like right now is probably the most, like you'll have the better chance of doing it right now. Because the more you push it off, the more you're not going to want to do it.
Right.
And I know that from experience. You keep pushing it off, you're going to get less and less motivation to do it every day
until... going to be like, you know what? I don't need to do that.
Yep. Until you either just don't need to or want to do it anymore, or until it absolutely has to be done and you're forced to do it. Then you really don't want to do it.
Right. Like for you in college when you stayed up all night typing, like, what was it, 4 papers that were due the next day?
For finals?
Yeah.
Yeah, I stayed up for 3 days.
My gosh.
I spent the days taking tests and studying for tests. The first night was writing an essay that was due the next day. It was like a 6-page essay that had to have like all of the stuff at the end. Citations, that's what it's called. And then the day, took a test, turned in the paper, studied for another test. I stayed up for 3 days doing that back and forth, taking tests, studying for tests, writing the paper, taking tests, studying tests.
My gosh.
At the end of that 3rd day, when my finals were finally over, I crashed. There was like a 30-minute period on like the 2nd morning. Actually, you know what? It was the morning of the 3rd day. Mm-hmm. I was at breakfast. I went to go get breakfast with some friends, and they said that I was literally sitting there rocking back and forth with my eyes bucked, and I'm like slowly leaning over.
My gosh.
They were like, "You need to go to sleep." I'm like, no, I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm like, real G's don't take sleeps. We just take long blinks.
Wow. Point is, I can't even address that right now.
That's a reference to something.
Oh, I know it's a reference to something. The point is, procrastination. I mean, and I'm not going to say you were like fearful to do it. You just didn't want to do it.
No, I was just stupid and decided not to do it. Or just being very forgetful and not writing stuff down.
Yeah.
I was like, I'll remember. And then I remember like the day before.
Right.
Like, oh, wait, I got this. I'm like, you get that feeling when you know you forgot something.
Yep.
You're like, what is it? Like, I know it's something else.
I don't know what it is. It'll come, right? But I think too, like, that spirit of procrastination is just, it just traps you.
It's very comforting.
It's very comforting.
Procrastination
to push
is very
it
comforting.
off because you just don't want to do it. You want to stay feeling comfortable, and feeling comfortable involves not doing that.
Because that feeling of when you have that anxiety and you know you're supposed to do something and you tell yourself, I can do this later. So you go from being anxious and feeling pressured to do something to, no, it's good. I don't have to do it. I can relax now. So now you feel even more relaxed. and more comfortable.
I think the thing for me though, even if I did that, in the back of my mind, like there would still be like a hint of anxiousness
That's
because I
you though.
knew but I knew at some point I'm like, okay, I'm doing this now. I'm trying to push it out now, but it's still there a little bit because I know I'm going to have to do this.
Also, you think I'm a piece of crap now. I was really a piece of crap in college. I didn't care at all. I was like, you know what? I'm just going to take an L on this one.
Yeah.
Yeah. I passed though.
You did. You know what?
I
The
got
whole
that
point
degree.
is you got the degree.
Up there on the wall.
Yes, it is.
With my name on it.
Yes, it is. And that's all that matters. Period.
Period. And they ain't gonna never do it again. That's why I'm just like, you want to go to school again?
Listen,
Okay.
I'm questioning that right now. I'm going to be 100% honest. I'm questioning it as we speak.
It ain't for me, man.
I don't know if it's for me. I'm going to be 100% honest. I don't know. We're going to see.
Like, just thinking about it and then, like, research that people have done. Like, the school system is really messed up because it really is for this one kind of student and how this one kind of student learns.
Yeah.
Everybody's different. Everybody learns different ways and everybody is good at different things because that's the way your brain functions.
Right.
They only focus on one thing. So if you're not good at this one thing, then you're not smart.
I want to say you're wrong, but like I feel you. I do. I feel you.
I think the best example for that I saw was they had like 7 different animals lined up. And there was like the first one to get to the top of that tree to get that banana wins. Of course, the monkey is going to win.
Right.
What is a hippo going to do?
They could like hit the tree real hard.
Shut
you
up.
have to get at the top to get it? Oh.
First one to climb up this tree and get that banana wins.
Oh, never mind.
And then because this isn't the exact thing, but you get what I'm saying.
Right.
Like the hippo obviously couldn't do it. So they said, you're stupid. You failed.
Yeah.
That's not what he's good at.
He good at running into that thing, making the banana fall.
He's good at swimming, and he has all kind of. It's like I said, people are good at different things.
Well, yeah, and I think also that goes along with it too, that there's not just one right way. Because like everyone could use their own strengths to accomplish the goal. I think the issue is that everything just has to be done the one way. And so if you're not, your innate ability isn't in that one thing, then yeah, you are deemed incompetent.
That is such an old school way of thinking.
Right.
Ugh. Anyway. Fear. Fear.
Yeah.
One question that I was going to ask. So I forget exactly what you said your fear was, but how are you trying to overcome it, or what have you done in the past to overcome some of your other fears?
So I did not do well overcoming my fears in the past. So like I have a fear of heights. I have tried so many times to get over this fear. Like I worked at Amazon and I was on the order picker. And so for people who don't know, it's a piece of machinery that lifts you into the air.
Pretty sure it's called a cherry picker.
Well, at Amazon it's called an order picker, an OP for short.
They like to do things different
Anyway, the point is, so it lifts you into the air and you yourself are going to grab items that are high and low. I am afraid of heights. Okay. So it did not matter to me that I had a harness and that, you have to go through questions to make sure that the equipment is safe and whatever the case may be. All I knew was that I was up in the air and I did not like that. But yeah, I mean, I've taken jobs that require me to get out of my comfort zone. I got on roller coasters. Like that heights thing, man, it's tough. But I mean, as far as, what's going on in my life right now, I think, like I said before, just recognizing that, okay, what I'm feeling is fear. And I'm feeling fear not because I'm in danger, not because I'm doing something wrong, not because, Holy Spirit is telling me don't do that. It's literally just me being fearful. And so taking inventory on why I'm feeling that way, recognizing that it's not of God, and then after that, just taking a deep breath and gathering up some courage to push through anyway is what I'm doing right now to help overcome the fear.
I like that.
That's all you can do, man.
Yeah. I don't know if I have a specific method for getting over the things that scare me or that I'm fearful of. I kind of just am thrown into it and realizing that it's not as bad as I thought it was. And then I'm not scared of it anymore. That's pretty much all it is.
So maybe I can throw you into a room with spiders, and then you'll realize that they're not that bad anymore.
I'm going to die immediately before any one of them touch me. And I'm going to stay here and haunt you for the rest of your life. I swear, you try to throw me in a room with spiders. You getting punched like 4 or 5 times before I get in that room, so you're gonna be hurt. And then as soon as you put me in that room and I see all them spiders, I'm gonna die immediately.
Oh my gosh, we have to work on your fear of spiders.
No. Nope.
Like, it's one thing to not like them. Like,
Nope.
I don't think anybody likes spiders.
Nope.
But the fact that you were just so adamant about this.
I don't know what it is. I see one and I feel like fighting.
Oh my gosh. Like, you guys don't understand how annoying it is to have to be the person that kills the spiders.
I kill spiders.
You don't do it correctly.
What?
You do not do it correctly. They still be alive, so you don't be killing them. And then they get away.
You know how many videos I done seen of somebody killing a spider and they hit it with the shoe and they be like, I got it, and then they turn it over. And then they turn over to look at it, and then the spider crawl up whatever they was hitting, and then it crawl up their arm.
Oh
Boy,
gosh.
I swear my soul leaves my body every time I see one of them videos. Like I said, I would die immediately.
He uses a
cannot
broom.
stand.
Like, it gets in the bristles.
I didn't use a broom.
You did use a broom once, and it really made me mad because that spider was not dead, and then it just crawled away.
I still don't feel like it was long enough. I don't want to touch it.
Ugh.
Listen, spiders are my thing. I don't deal with spiders. That's my thing. Other bugs, of course, I don't like them, but I'm not as scared of them as I am of spiders.
Oh, yeah. So heights are my thing. Spiders are your thing.
Yeah. Leave me alone.
Oh, gosh. Well, I hope you guys took something out of this podcast today. I mean, talking about fear, I don't know what's going on in your life that you might be fearful of, whether it's a new job or just something new in your life, something that God has asked you to do that you don't know what the outcome is going to be. So that's making you anxious. But just know whatever it is that you're fearful of, that God didn't give us a spirit of fear. He gave us, love and the spirit of self-discipline and power. So definitely keep that in mind, with whatever you're facing right now or whatever you have to come in the future too.
Yeah. And if you're one of those people who has to know the outcome of a situation or know how something ends in order to be comfortable with it, try and find some kind of solitude in the fact that the way God created us, we are not supposed to understand and know everything. So there are going to be some things that you don't know the end of or that you don't understand, and that's fine. So just know that because he doesn't want us to know the end of how everything ends or understand everything, that he has a plan.
Yeah.
So that he will always come through. You just have to trust it.
Yeah. And I mean, I think the thing with that too is if God told us the plan, either A, we would abort the plan. We'd be like, oh, no, I ain't doing that.
Mm-hmm.
Or B, we wouldn't need God.
Right.
And so for our own good, right, we can't know everything. But if you're trusting in the one who created you, you're trusting in the one that said, I know the plans that I have for you. And they're plans to prosper you, not to harm you, and to give you a hope in the future. That's what God said. So you should have some comfort in knowing that no matter what is going on, your life is in the hands of the God who created you and loves you and has a plan to prosper you and the plan not to harm you.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's the main thing too, because we have a fear. And so then that fear is like a fear of harm, right? But if you know who your God is, then you don't have to be fearful of harm because you know God's plan is not to harm you.
Mm-hmm. No weapon formed against you shall prosper.
Yeah. So.
Well, like she said, I hope someone's able to get something out of it. We appreciate you listening.
Yeah. Please follow us on Facebook at The Real Conversations Podcast. Follow us on Twitter at The Real Converse 1. Like, share, and subscribe, and definitely comment too. Let us know if you're liking the podcast, if there's, something that you want us to talk about, anything like that too. We love to hear from you guys.
Yeah. Thank you guys.
Bye.